Hey everyone, Pixel Geek here, and we are in the thick of it of No Code Awards. We are in the semifinals and doing all these interviews with these semifinalists, and it's really nice to hear all of their stories, to hear what it took to get their projects to the finish line. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Valita, right? Valita, did I get that right?
Exactly, perfect.
Yes. Yes, Valita has created the Notion project inside of Webflow, right?
Yeah, it's that perfect. Yeah, definitely. It's like a
Yeah.
Notion marketplace mostly.
Nice, nice. Now, before we get into your project and what you did to make that all happen, can you introduce yourself to the Pixel Geek community?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Valentin, like or Valentin, depending if you're French or like English speaker. I'm like at the beginning, I'm mostly like a marketer, and I did like some like digital marketing and stuff. And uh, I, I think I discovered like Webflow maybe two year and a half ago, and I really really like it. And I just after that I just love it, like creating so easily like website and get more like into something of more design stuff.
Yeah.
So I changed like from like more like my freelance job that was like digital marketing to like mostly like creating website for clients.
Mm-hmm.
And and yeah, and now like I'm just doing that for now, like all my time like building like website for like mostly French clients. And on my free time I'm trying to build Notion everything.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I'm just getting into Notion now while building this community, and it is a huge tool. it,
Yeah,
it makes me think,
definitely.
like, why was I even using Google Docs in the first place? Like, what? I should have
I
went
think
there a long time ago. What's wrong with me?
I think it's also because like you can be a little bit afraid by Notion because like it's like the all-in-one. They want to build like this all-in-one
Yeah,
tool workspace, and it's can be a little bit uh, disturbing, I would say, at the
yeah,
first sight, because like you get in and you're like, what can I do? What should I do?
yeah,
Because basically do whatever you want. So like there's no like, okay, like you need to write something like on this Google Doc or like write this number. A spreadsheet is like do whatever you want. It's like
yeah.
your imagination is going to stop you.
It kind of reminds me of Webflow when you first get in. There's all
Yeah,
these buttons, and it's like you can start from a template or you can start from blank page, and it's like, oh, where do I start? Right? So,
exactly.
you mentioned that you're a marketer, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, as a marketer, when you what turned you to look at Webflow? Like, what was that first time you saw Webflow, and more importantly, what was that first spark? What was that first moment you're like, yeah, I'm gonna use Webflow?
I think okay. So as a marketer, we use like to build a lot of
Yeah,
like to just to promote some stuff and doing like some copywriting and trying to attract new customer or like to talk about the product. So like you always looking for like tool to make it easier for you like to build landing page. And I think like there's a lot of tools on the market, but a lot of them there's like maybe two kind of tool. Like ones were like too expensive.
yeah,
They are like super cool and so like unbounce like doing like amazing landing page, but it's like super expensive. So for most of the clients, like they can afford it. And other sides, there's like other tool like yeah, they are kind of cheap and you can do it. Like London, for example, is like really good one, but
yeah.
you kind of limit it with what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Webflow is like the perfect one, like something like not too expensive at all for like clients and super like flexible.
Yeah.
So I think like I get into it for to do like some website.
Uh huh.
Maybe at the beginning was to build my first like portfolio or something like this,
Uh huh.
and I start with that, and I just continue to dig into it, and I just love it. And I think the spark was mostly like to, like to just you have no, I would say you have no limitation. Even if Webflow has limitation, you would find a way through like custom code or like just twist it like an element and
Yeah.
create something else. And yeah, it's just super cool.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get into your project. The what was it again? The Notion. Hold on.
Notion, everything.
Notion everything. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a place to find the perfect Notion template. So what made you want to build this, and what was those first steps to building it?
So it's like an easy story at the end. Like, um, so I'm like a big fan of Notion. I'm using it like for now like for 1 year and a half almost,
Yeah.
and I used to like use it a lot for like my previous agency,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like so powerful like to build like onboarding or like also like dashboard for clients and stuff. Like it's super nice for that. And it's just like the main problem. I had like I built like Notion everything like in May, like last May,
Mm-hmm.
and I think my problem was like, okay, like there's a lot of like a huge community of Notion lovers, and most of them sharing the templates.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is like you need to be connected like on Facebook, you need to be connected on Reddit,
Mm.
and there was everywhere. And they like they're doing an amazing job, and I was like, okay, how can I make like just a place where you can just put all the templates and where people can add the template, and where I can also like add some templates that I ask for like the creator to put it on the platform, and like make it accessible for everyone, like to just, okay, like I'm looking for this kind of template and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like it was hard like to really find all the template available, and also like it's hard just to find the good template for your problem.
Yeah.
So it's why I built like Notion everything.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, you found that need in the Notion community, and you opened it up. So that's awesome. And how did the Notion community, like, how did they respond to this website?
I think there was like two kind of response at the end. Like the Notion, like I would say the users, Notion user
Mm.
respond super well. Like they were really happy because basically I'm kind of simplify the
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
And on the other end, there was like the Notion creators, because there's a lot of people now, as Marie Poulain, for example, or like other creators like Conrad Lean and stuff. They're kind of famous in the community, and
Hmm.
they're doing a lot of like videos, blog posts, and templates. And they had the impression that I was stealing this template,
Oh,
and I was like, no, it's not
no,
my goal. And
you're trying
yeah,
to
like
help out.
exactly. So I need like it was like after that we resolved like we said this problem like talking like
Yeah.
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 But at the beginning, yeah, it was good. I
That's
can.
good. So how long did it take you to create this from start to finish?
So the first version was basically like just I would say home page,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, okay, there's like the hero,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like the all the templates and the filters, and plus a page for like each template, so
Yeah.
collection page. Basically, I think it took me like 2 days and a half, something like this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was easy. The hardest part was to implement the the FinSuite CMS.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
like it's like I think it's also what make it like they did like amazing job to make like filters, like dynamic filters, and
Yeah.
also the dynamic search. And it was the hardest part to really understand how it works and how I can implement it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's kind of easy. And the I also when I just start with like 50 templates,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like maximum on like a free
Yeah.
free Webflow. So just limit to 50 templates. And I didn't want to like it took me a lot of time to do like 10, 20 at the beginning. So I just hire someone on Fiverr to do it for me.
Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, because like I was wondering, like you're coming from a marketing background and
Yeah,
you jumping in to learn basically HTML and CSS and Webflow interactions, it must have been tough for you. And so now you were talking about the FinSuite CMS library, which is a
yeah,
free code custom code way to make dynamic filters and searches must have been tough. And so, yeah, I understand that you needed help because I still have some trouble with code as well. So,
yeah.
like, the fact that you actually invested your time and then invested in a developer to help that get to the finish line shows how much you really wanted this project to come out. You really cared for the Notion community. So, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, were there any other struggles, or actually, what did you learn from this whole process of building this Notion resource?
I think like it wasn't like my first side project, my first project that I launched basically.
Oh, okay.
And what I learned is like I used to have like I'm still having a lot of ideas of like business side project I can do and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like I learned that you don't need to overcomplicate it things. Just like okay, you have an idea, just do it something super simple and
Mm.
just push it like to the community you want to reach, and you will see how it react. So like I think I was super lucky, like the Notion community was looking for something like this, and I just did something like they were looking for also, because like I know like you can launch a lot of like side project and just don't, it's really hard to reach like the
Yeah.
people, the customer, or even like just someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like
I think the whole that's a good point. Even I struggle with that. I have so many ideas that I want to do, but then you have to simplify your mind and your idea to just do one thing, one good thing, and then start from there rather than do all the things. And
exactly.
that's actually what happened at the beginning of Webflow. If you've never heard the story, when they first pitched to Y Combinator, that version of Webflow already had CMS, already had multiple pages, and those people at Y Combinator said denied them, but
Mm,
said start off smaller, and that's why Webflow started off as just a landing page builder. You can only make one page when they first launched, and now it's just this crazy thing that's changing everyone's lives instead of including your life as well. I mean, you're
yeah,
able to build this whole resource by yourself. Well,
I agree.
and hiring someone to Fiverr to get it to the finish line, but still, you started it and you got it like more than halfway there. That's awesome to hear, and I'm really glad you made it to the semifinals. Hopefully, we see you in the finals. But before we go, do you have tell us where people can find you? Shout out any links or anything that you want to say to the Pixel Geek community.
They can like find me. I would say like Notion everything. Like you have also my contact at the end, on the end of the page, like in the footer, and also like on my Twitter accounts, which is like Valentine, the dash. I don't know how to say it.
Underscore.
The underscore. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Underscore Notion. And yeah, like if you want to reach me otherwise, is Valentine at notioneverything.com, and you can send me an email or something. And yeah,
Awesome, awesome. I'll be going to you and that website for any Notion ideas that I need to implement into my board. But thank you so much for taking the time to sit
thank you
down
so
with
much.
me, and we'll see you around.
See
All
you.
right, bye bye.
Cheers.